that jittery Aquarian energy, that Aquarius friend that cannot take a chill pill, that cannot relax. I am that friend. And this full moon, as we have a full moon in Aquarius right now, will bring up all those feelings of unease, of this inability to accept reality, inability to be in the discomfort of the chaos, of the not knowing, of the dismantling of old individual and collective structures so that something new can be born. So when you are in that stage, in that phase, and if you're in Aquarius, it can get a little bit tricky, and this full moon will show you and illuminate. It's a weird word. It will illuminate everything that wants to be seen, heard, felt, and just embraced with compassion and full self-love. And it's not easy because we have so many aspects in the sky right now. We have in the Dreamspell, in the Mayan calendar. I looked at everything and I came up with some major themes. However, you will notice that a lot with the full moons will be revolved around shadows. And I'm saying that because a full moon will definitely bring up to the surface, and we have Lilith as well in the mix. And other aspects, we have Mercury retrograde, and all of that will bring to the surface everything that you've been hiding, that you've been suppressing when it comes to your truest expression, when it comes to your most authentic, weird, unique self. That is Aquarius. So what are the three major themes that I discovered when looking into these different frameworks? The first major theme is this big, as I mentioned, shadows. These big shadows that are coming up and that are holding you back from expressing your weirdness. And, I'm gonna talk about that, but there might be some things when it comes to Chiron and traumas that you have never seen before. Even if you're on a healing journey for some time now, there are new things that will be coming up to the surface to be observed, right? Like Vipassana, to just notice, it was always part of me, but I've never seen it before. The second theme is full devotion to loving your unique way of expressing. And this is related to gate 29 and Jinkies 29, which we will be transiting for the next 2 days. And I will speak more on, the difference between devotion and commitment, and what are some aspects in astrology that might make it difficult for us to access that state of devotion. And the third theme right now is creating in a community a new way of being, a new way of living for the future generations. So as we are in still in Leo season, so it's Leo sun, we have the moon in Aquarius. And a Leo is all about self-realization, self-expression, it's all about the self. However, Aquarius is all about humanity, it's all about community. And we have these two seemingly opposing forces coming together. However, it's basically showing us that we can strive individually, or we can liberate ourselves individually if the collective is also in a state of liberation, in a state of freedom. So we see how everything is actually connected. This is the Aquarian energy. So let's dig into it. Aquarius, as you probably know, and you have friends, and probably you're an Aquarius yourself. I'm 3 times Aquarius, and I keep saying this. Aquarius is the most, I would say, misunderstood sign of the zodiac. It's it can also be seen as the weirdest, because it will always strive for expressing their individuality, and it will always strive to a fault to break free from the norms. And it's ruled by Uranus, and Uranus is the planet of transformation. But it's the kind of transformation and awakening that is like a Kundalini awakening. It's like spontaneous, it's like a lightning bolt. So it's not really gradual awakening, you know, it's like it has to be now. And that's why like Aquarius is always like looking to the future, and always is like, I'm not fast enough, I'm not there yet. So this is a constant unease, and I can feel that every single minute of every single day. And with this full moon, the question is, how is society still influencing you? Even if you have been on this self-discovery, healing, remembering journey for some time, deconditioning, resetting, there are still, of course, and will be patterns, behavioral patterns or thinking patterns that are not truly yours. So what we usually do when we encounter moments of self-doubt, or are even have parts in us that have been created to protect us, and that are always in a question, is this the right thing to do? Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I truly following my heart? Am I really following my purpose? So if we're still entertaining and have these parts in us, this will come up to the surface, and there will be people around us or events happening, you know, in our field, experiences that will trigger this lack of, let's say, self-worth, or lack of trust in our own uniqueness and the way we express our unique light into the world. So it's very beautiful, because actually the sun is also squaring Uranus, right? So it's Uranus is coming in and wants to transform everything, wants to be even, like, for you to be even more authentic, like all the time, even more. And the sun, the Leo is actually taking it personally. You know, when Aquarius, they're opposite. When Aquarius is the more like detached one and can see the bigger picture, also like how everything fits, how the individual light fits into this bigger web of creation, let's say in a community. Leo is the one that makes it all about itself and takes it personally. So Uranus wants to transform those illusions of the ego, and to be like, no, you also have to let go of this in order for the greater good to emerge. So yeah, just notice, like, if you're still holding on to some tendencies of people pleasing, or especially if in the past, and this is where Chiron comes into the mix, because the sun is also, I think, is in a trine to Chiron. So Chiron is the wounded healer and is the one that really brings old karmic stuff like past life, childhood things. So, for example, if you have been the black sheep in the family, if you have been bullied while growing up, if you have been gaslit and your truth was never validated, it's you might have developed some tendencies like either people pleasing or perfectionistic. So with people pleasing, you might have this need to always morph yourself. So you develop like a chameleon personality to always morph yourself and even bypass your own values in order to be accepted by your peers, by society, by your family, by your friends. So in detriment of your own well-being, of your own truth, you'll make sure that you will be accepted in order to not be left out. And this can happen with Aquariuses a lot, because Aquariuses, you know, like they tend to be the revolutionary, they tend to be the weird ones. However, a lot of Aquariuses were born in families that were very traditional, and they are put on this earth to transcend this karma of the traditional family, the traditional society structures, and break free from the norms, break free from conditioning. However, if you were already born in a family system, in a dynamic that was already free, the struggle will not be so real, will not be so deep, but also the impact that you could have on society would not be as great. So just know, the bigger the challenge, the bigger the friction, the greater the impact. So again, observe. If something will come up during these 2 days, it might be related to deep-seated conditioning of society. Whereas like people-pleasing, perfectionistic tendencies, like everything that you developed as a child to cope with, oh, I have to hide my uniqueness, I have to hide my weirdness in order to be accepted in society. So just notice if this might come up, and you know, just also be aware that a reset is needed, and you can only be resetting when you come back to silence. And I'm not saying necessarily because I am an advocate of Vipassana, I'm not saying you should go and meditate, you should be on a mountain in a cave, you know, for like weeks and months. However, having a regular practice of silence, maybe in the morning, maybe you do it every 2 hours, every 3 hours, that is so helpful for you guys. I promise. And that leads me actually to the second point, which is devotion. And gate 29 in Human Design and Jinkies is about the faithful devotee. So you are committing yourself to something. Of course, so the gift, right? Because we're talking in terms of Jinkies, we always have the 3 layers. We have the shadow, the gift, and the city. And the shadow is half-heartedness. So doing something half-assed, doing something, you're starting something, but you're not finishing it. So this is actually a lack of commitment. The gift, if you can transform that, and if you can heal through everything that is blocking you from being committed, is having this dedication to follow through, having the tenacity, the perseverance to follow through. And the last step, the city, is being devoted. It's actually taking it a step further, which is almost removing the object of commitment and opening your heart fully to be merged with that. So you don't see that object as separate from you, but you actually see your, let's say, project or whatever you're devoting yourself to, whether it's, you're devoting yourself to God, you're devoting yourself to the union with your loved one, whatever, you actually see that as a part of you. And the more that you open your heart unconditionally and you love yourself unconditionally, you can also love that as a part of you. So when it comes to devoting yourself to a specific dream, to a specific project, might be a lot of things holding you back, of course. And this is part of my purpose here on this earth, is to help empower and inspire others to follow truth, follow their dream, as weird as it sounds, as innovative as it sounds. I'm an Aquarius. I usually come up with things that are out of the box, that are unconventional, and I had to go through my own fair share of resistances and obstacles, internal friction of putting that dream out into the world. And a lot of times I managed to, a lot of times I didn't. I still have like maybe 20 things that I still want to manifest, and that's fine. And I still feel that internal, that impatience to just bring it into the world, and I have to love it. So again, there might be a lot of things that keep you away from publishing, from launching. However, right now, at this moment, with the full moon in Aquarius, it's not so much about devoting yourself no matter what to that project, to an external thing. It's actually devoting yourself to loving yourself, devoting yourself to unconditionally accepting every single part of the process of getting there, wherever that is, right? Because Aquarius is the visionary. Uranus as well is the one that is always looking in the future. So you could be having a goal, you could be having a plan, you could be having a vision, right, on the vision board for yourself. However, sometimes it's not as easy to get there. Especially right now we have Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde will put some blocks, some obstacles in the way, which are about self-doubt, which are about the inability to follow structures or to follow a routine. So you can notice all these things. However, it's not doing it because, don't take it personally, it's not doing because it hates you, right? Every single aspect, whether it's an opposition, a conjunction, trine, every single energy, every single planet, every single astrological or human design transit is actually here to support you becoming the best version of yourself, you becoming the heart-led warrior, the spiritual leader of your own being. So you can see everything as a part of the process. So rather than committing yourself to your 3-year plan, right, and making sure that you're staying committed and every day you're disciplined and right, the discipline is Saturn, right? So also noticing, like right now we have Jupiter square Saturn, right? Jupiter, oh my God, I want to expand, I want to be free, like I see all these things, and then the Saturn, the discipline, but is this realistic? So it's always like a push and pull. It's always like, I want to go, but no, I can't. But it's always this dance. So rather committing yourself to 2 things, or devoting yourself to 2 things. One is unconditionally loving the process, every step of the way. And by that I mean showing yourself or showing your inner child or the parts of you unconditional and true compassion. Like, yes, you are here. Yes, I see. Yes, perfectionistic tendencies. Again, yes, again, you're here. Doesn't matter. I can still love you. So in order for us to change something, in order for us to evolve, we have to accept the reality of what is right now. So this is the first thing that you can do, is unconditionally loving that aspect. Second thing that you can do is devoting yourself to silence. So even though you have a 3-year vision, even though there are all these blocks for you to continue following your vision, you can devote yourself to having breaks during the day where you come back to silence and you can hear your own truth. And even if this truth might be changing, seemingly changing from day to day, in silence, you hear that essence of your being that transcends these fluctuations of the momentary truth, the fluctuations of your emotions or your mind, and accesses something deeper. So just notice that. Just notice if you can come into this space of silence more often than not, especially during these intense times, you know, when we have full moon, we have the Mercury retrograde, we have so many squares and trines and conjunctions and so on. Silence is the way, it's the middle way. And I want to segue into the third theme, which is this community aspect. Because in the Mayan calendar we have the energy of Kawak, and this energy it represents abundance, but the abundance that is to be found in a community, in a family. And it's also interesting because in the Dreamspell we have a galactic activation portal in the energy of the night. So galactic activation portals on the 19th of August are days, we have 52 days, which are, the veil is very thin. So if you do have silence, if you do have moments of inner contemplation, reflection, stillness, you're able to get much faster to the truth, to what is important to you, what matters right now, what decision should I take. Even though, you know, with Mercury retrograde, you shouldn't be taking decisions. Maybe wait until it ends. But this, in the Dreamspell, this energy of the night is the energy that is about abundance of the self. So in order for us to see abundance in the community, or abundance in the, you know, financial abundance world, to see the external manifestations of abundance, we have to see all aspects of ourselves, right? We have to see this incredible field of potential within us. Because the night is the dream time, right? So in dreams, everything is possible. So can you close your eyes and really feel that everything is possible within you at every single moment in time? If you feel this abundance, and every person in your community or in the community that you are part of, the family system that you're a part of, can feel that abundance within him or herself, then the collective abundance can be reached. So I win if we all win. We win, we have success if I find my own success. It's all intertwined, and the humanitarian energy of Aquarius knows this and is able to recognize that the power of a community, the power of a union, is actually when the individual is empowered. When the individual is self-realized and is fully conscious and aware of their own programming, of their own patterning and traumas, then the group is actually elevated. So it is also said that the group can only be as good or as helpful to society as one single individual in that group. So what I also want to share is that if you manage to see this abundance within yourself, if you get into this point of stillness and you see this abundance and you devote yourself to recognizing that abundance, let's say that there is this click next time you sit in meditation and you feel, oh my God, I actually have it all. Whatever happens in the external, whatever chaos or storm I'm going through, I actually have it all. And when you recognize that, you can devote yourself to always coming back to this moment. Always be sitting down in silence to reach that state of internal, utter gratitude for what you have. And when you devote yourself to that state of being, then the universe will bring so much more abundance in the external as well. Then luck will follow you no matter where you go, because you've already recognized it within. So these are some aspects that I wanted to share with you, and I do feel that every single time we have such a major astrological event happening, like eclipses or this full moons or this very interesting and impactful conjunctions, it's also to be the same energies to be found in other systems as well. So for me, my passion is to bring this to you, to make these insights digestible, so that you don't need to have like 15 tabs open, and you don't need to be confused about, oh, what should I work with now? Because everything is already there. Everything that you need is already there. And it's about you opening your eyes, opening your heart, and receiving. So thank you for listening. I'm very happy to share more on the humanship, to share more about your individual chart, and also as as a way of honoring this energy, this Aquarian energy of, the collective consciousness, but also the collective subconscious, and the abundance and the community in the Mayan calendar. I will be launching today a community of women where we will support one another in whatever comes up to be seen when we launch our dreams, when we move forward on our soul-led projects, because we need that. And there's so many forces, especially right now, with Pluto, in Aquarius, and we're entering Aquarian age, especially for women. I feel, and women that are trying to completely dismantle a way of being, or just step more into leaders of the new earth, there will be a lot of forces, visible and invisible, that will hinder us to actually, feel that we can do this, to feel empowered, to put ourselves out there. So that's why we need a community, and my vision is to actually create this web of embodied goddesses, embodied divine feminine, that are humble enough to still, even if we know that we are already leaders and way showers, to learn from others, to learn through the collective, a collective awakening. So this is my passion, and I really hope that you do follow your passions, and this was helpful for you. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. Thank you.